You can also play just like obscure off angles. Like this off angle is great right here.
Now I'm gonna do it like I'm rushing. Yeah, that's pretty brilliant.
So it's like you're essentially,
there.
yeah, you're holding an angle while people are clearing the back right of sight. And then like after you kill one, that's where you can like throw a flash above.
Yeah.
And this, while it is spammable, for some reason hard to spam
really
people behind this.
Yeah, it's really wide.
Yeah, it's wide. So then you can flash and just delay. Now they're all looking sight. Now maybe your heaven guy's coming out, or maybe a guy flooded screens. Like you'll be getting help and you're just trying to play to live as long as you can.
Yeah.
The most common played comps.
They're tiny. All right, wait. I'm copying. I'm taking notes.
Okay, okay. You want me to raise them?
Omen.
I like them small, so when you put them on the map, you can actually see where they go.
I'm making my own. I'm making my own. Chill. Viper, Omen, yeah.
Skye.
Cypher, maybe.
Raze.
And then a little bit of Cypher.
And then the last spot, Cypher is predominantly played, but some teams opted for a double duelist.
Yup.
This is the top meta comp. Hard disagree. High recoil. Okay, so the other version of the comps. Oh, you can also run an Astra instead of the Omen.
Okay. Okay.
That's another option.
I'm color coding mine. See, yours is like totally worse because you don't have colors.
My bad. My bad. Oh well. Another version is, again, I think you can run Omen or Astra either way.
Yep.
I'm not gonna like. Sure, one will give you value in other ways. Another will give you a value in another way. Breach, and then you could go. I believe a lot of teams ran the Skye, but they also, some people tried the Fade and a Raze. It's either double controller or double initiator is the best way to think about it.
I see. And when it's single controller, you're playing just the Omen or the Astra.
Yeah, and then you're running like a breach and then another initiator, and you're playing for trap plays. Now, I don't like the double initiator as much. I think it's still viable because your breach can honestly sit and spawn.
Yeah.
And you can stun like this. Like this is like a really viable thing.
Yeah,
there's like other trap plays you can do. Yeah, so these are
single smokes.
I was gonna go over some team stuff and then like a lot of solo queue stuff. Is Jet Raze meta gone? It's not gone. It's just Cypher's a little bit more valuable than the Jet. Now, a lot of the times in solo queue, you're not going to have double controller. You're probably not going to have a breach either. Well, so I'll go over solo queue stuff as well. But usually the agents you want in solo queue are a smoke agent, a Skye, and a Raze. Even if you have a Clove, it's viable. But we'll say you get lucky and you get an Omen. If you have these three agents, I think this map is still playable no matter what in ranked.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have a Raze, this map becomes a lot harder. If you don't have a Skye, in my opinion, this map becomes a lot harder as well. These two agents and a smoke agent, a main smoke agent, even like a Clover, even a Brimstone, as long as you have something like this, I feel like in ranked you're chilling.
And let's see if I have the right understanding though, because then you can correct me. So the typical understanding is Skye in solo queues is very useful for controlling or gaining information. Raze is really useful for breaking utility and just making space. She's a bit better than Jet because of the nade. And then like Omen's the best smoker because of things like B main. The lane, his flashes is really effective.
I'd say Astra's about equal with Omen. Like, I'll be honest, like teams
with double star either.
Teams with this comp run the Astra, like, I believe at about like a 30% rate compared to the Omen. So the Omen has a higher pick rate, but the Astra is still very viable in competitive play. The Astra is actually better for holding mid and cycling stars like this with the Viper Orb. What you lack is the ability to aggress in spots like B main, because the Omens might not chain smoke mid like the Astra Viper. So the Astra Viper comp pryos mid a little bit more, whereas the Omen comp allows you to one-way B main and contest B main and make them not really be able to like take B main.
All right, wait, let me somehow write that down, because we do have a lot of people watching here who play in the underpeel, myself included. And so these double smoke comps, we likely will see them.
And that's why I want to go over like some team stuff too, because there's not many resources for like competitive play. And that's why I really like being able to do these. Is like, obviously I want to help people win more ranked games and do better rank and climb rank. But I also would like to share like fundamental team stuff that's like really hard to find resources for, or at least like correct or like valuable information for. I prefer this. I lean towards this on split. There's other options like this.
Everyone go follow this.
Not as common, like not as meta,
turn that
but
off.
I guess like we'll start with the fundamental ranked playstyle, and that's where what usually happens is if you're running a Skye, they usually play towards here.
Yeah, they flash aim for info.
She's the best A anchor in the game in my opinion, and it's a lot of Vipers will throw a wall like this, or the Cypher will lurk, and yeah, you're essentially denying the lurk. She's the only one who can really deny the lurk. Cypher can hold the deep push, but he can't deny a lurk in the first place. Like a Cypher can't deny them from getting to here.
Yeah, exactly.
So Skye can get that info, and then I would say Skye usually plays here. If you're running a Raze, Raze will usually be leaning towards halfway between mid and halfway to a site. Either Rafter or B Heaven is what I mean by this. And if you're running like your smokes player, will usually be B no matter what, whether it's Aster or Omen or something like this. If you're running a Viper, Viper would be like the hard mid guy. And if you're running a Cypher, that's where Cypher can flex with the Raze.
Yeah, what if you're running Jet? Like, let's say we're playing Omen, Raze, Jet, Skye.
If you're running Jet, that's where, again, Jet and Raze can swap. And it depends on one of two things. If Jet is here, Jet can't really afford to play Heaven like Raze. What you're looking to do with the Jet is your Skye's looking to beat the Viper wall with the flash a lot of the time.
You get a line.
And like you essentially, your Jet goes here, you flash close, and your Jet peeks on the line and then gets on this angle. And it's almost impossible to re-clear the Jet without burning excess amount of util, which then you won't have for an execute.
Yeah, so the double duelists want to get scrappy and fight for mains.
The double duelist one's a lot more scrappy, and Split does have a lot of contact aim duels. But yeah, usually Viper will orb mid if you're gonna run the double controller. Viper will almost orb mid every single round. And if you're on defense, the Viper will usually throw a wall like this. You can throw it from, you can throw this orb from mail or ropes. If you're ropes, they'll usually wall like this. And you can throw this exact same wall from B Heaven as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll show like a lineup for this because you're leaving like a tiny corner there, Hell, right?
Not
I've seen that.
necessarily intentionally. You're more so trying to block off Heaven. Like, you could play Hell potentially with it. I don't have the lineup, but it's
Oh, okay. That's what I see like Xander do in solo queue.
You can have that. I guess like it's also you want to make sure this is blocked is like an important thing. The angle Hell is like an angle you can play, but I guess like while throwing this wall, it just makes it harder for them to clear, and they just when they come out, they kind of have to like spam towards here. But I've never played in there because you just get util dumped a lot of the time. Yeah, of course.
It's more the threat of it.
Yeah, contacting means you make no noise and you essentially walk up and you just dry aim duel the angle. So an example would be like you walk all the way up mid, you don't dog, you don't smoke, you don't throw any piece of util, you walk up, and then when you get to here, you fight this guy, you just peek him. And you essentially like contacting is you don't throw any piece of util, you let the gunfight be the first point of contact.
Yeah, and the idea is you can get up a lot closer to the enemy's position before they rotate. Because you're not
because a lot of people will throw this Viper orb, but they won't pop it until they get spotted or until there's util. So if the Viper's playing mid and they hear a Skye dog coming up, they'll insta put up orb. They will put up util on other util or information, but if you don't throw any util, a lot of times Vipers will be here and they'll be jump spotting ropes. So yeah, I'm gonna go over the Cypher comp because I guess that's the most viable right now in my opinion. I think by default Cypher usually plays A, like towards A Heaven. There's this cam in A Heaven. That's just a one-way for all of like top ramp, and it also sees out main.
We'll show how to throw all this stuff later, so don't worry.
Yeah. Cypher can play here, and then essentially he can just put kill trips wherever he wants. So you can put like this kill trip can be like really good, like this, for when they're coming out. You can put other kill trips. I think this one's actually pretty good too. Now I'll show the reason why. Like, sure, you can put this trip, and if they're not breaking this one can get a lot of value, right? Even this one I think is actually pretty good. There is one like this too. Now these ones can be good, but I'll show you a reason why people have stopped throwing trips like these too. Because DRX has a Raze nade lineup. They were the first ones to start doing this. So I asked Gov actually showed me the lineup the other day, so I hopefully still remember it. But he said DRX like was the one who did the lineup.
Like it pops like everything.
It's the same one on bind.
I usually see Raze just bouncing off the wall.
Yeah, no, there's a
just like on bind with that jump throw.
Yeah, it's the jump throw with the Raze nade on bind. Yep. And it nades all close trips. So that's again another reason why, like, if you're playing this map, you need the Skye and you also need smokes. The reason I'm saying you also need a Raze, you need something to break trips. Yeah. Even if you don't have this lineup, yeah, you nade off the wall, you break close trips, because if not, like, a Cypher just hard counters you. That's another reason why Raze is viable. And also, like, stall power on defense, the nade is really strong, and attack side breaking trips, and also flushing angles. This is a map where there's a lot of tucked angles and you need flush potential. And that's why I think Raze is like the best duelist. And then yeah, Raze can play like B Heaven and help the Viper. Viper can almost solo spot mid and deny. If they're coming up, you molly, and then if like when your orb's dropping, you just ask for another smoke. Boom. And you're essentially just looking to hard chain smoke mid, and your controller plays B, and yada yada. This is really standard setup.
Yeah,
and this is like, you can play this setup almost every single round. Not these specific trips, just like any trips, but like, and you make micro variations off this. But you can essentially play like Skye, Cypher A, Viper mid, Viper can be here. And if you really want to, you could put Raze ropes, or Raze could walk to box, like micro variations, but this would be your rough structure.
Yeah, and this has been pretty stable on this map for a while. Like if you remember when we did the show match where I got you and a bunch of other like tier 2s on a team to face against like some Immortal 3s, you pretty much played exactly this style, except you did play double duelist, which makes sense because you're going to ego the Immortal 3s. But yeah, you were just constantly spamming orb mid. Like,
so if you watch that back
with Skye.
I was going to explain this because I think I played Viper. I threw the one-way orb here. And I was going to say, this is a caveat where this is like some stuff. No, this is some stuff for ranked. No matter what, Viper should still be orbing here. However, as someone who's played Viper, I have noticed significant more success in ranked with this orb. Now this orb, any mediocre team is going to, like, with practice, is going to just bait out this orb. Or what an actual team's gonna do is they're just gonna smoke here. They're just gonna go, we'll smoke this and go ropes. You're just giving up all of mid to ropes for free? Okay. But I was just throwing it because they were still trying to go male.
It's messed up, and like calling the Immortal 3 team worse than mediocre like that.
I'm saying even in ranked, even in Radiant ranked, even in pug teams, it's essentially pug teams, and this is why, like,
no, I hear you. I'll call smoke male on attack and they'll smoke ropes. Like
it's just, well, it's also in ranked, like people don't, like, usually if someone wants to play super patient and lurky, this is why like lurk agents can be harder in ranked. Sometimes your team just wants to run it down and you don't have time to lurk. And this is why, like, people in ranked, the gap with, if you orb male like this, you one-way orb male, the gap with this is they just go here, they default here, they threaten mid to ropes, then they can go back and then they can go B, they could go back and then they could go A, they could just stay in ropes and then split A. But how many teams are like slow defaulting and executing with 30 seconds left?
Yeah.
This orb gives up a lot of space for free, but only space if they like actually threaten a bunch of different lurks. So I do like this one-way orb male in ranks particularly, even at high elo, but objectively best orb is to just deny mid outright, in my opinion. And yeah, and Omen, if you're gonna play B, the Omen can one-way here. And this can be really good. Omen can one-way B main. Astra can't, but if you're going to play Astra, I recommend throwing default stars, probably here and here. I'd probably recommend default stars like this. I think like you can also run a setup with like, you can put Omen and potentially Raze towards A. Viper could be a little bit towards male side. And this, you would put Cypher B a lot if they're putting Viper wall like this. Like this is like an old meta thing, but now with Cypher and Viper being in the same comp, a lot of teams will let Cypher lurk A and let Viper lurk B. And I'll go over this when we get to attack.
Yeah, well, interesting.
If a team's throwing this wall on attack, Cypher can just cam above the wall right here. And this will spot male and whatever B main walk out. And then you can just put like one-way cages and stuff B main, yada yada. And then Raze and Omen can both play A. You could put Omen, Cypher still B together, whatever. And yeah, Raze can play like Rafter. And you can always just nade off like util if they're rushing or something like that. That's about it for defensive side split. For macro wise, I think split is really, really, really simple in overall structure, especially with this comp macro wise. But a lot of it comes down to like split is a very heavy map on like not making mistakes, not overextending, and playing like taking fights with your teammates. If they're coming out B heaven, for example, there's so many angles they have to clear when coming out here. If this guy takes first, this guy peeks off you, this guy could also peek off you, this guy peeks off, like, but it's a lot of,
it can like fall apart. Like if that Viper doesn't live after contact.
If Viper dies early mid, gets picked somehow, and then now you're full gapped here and here, and this Skye on it, and like now you give up this gap potentially, a lot of stuff falls apart. So while it's simple, it's also like, I think someone asked earlier and I didn't have a chance to get to it. It was like, Viper's orbing this. Does she ever have a chance to get aggro? Not really, no. Now your team can choose to get aggro and do like a 1-3-1. And now you can throw the orb and your like duelist can walk down and fight this. But I don't think Viper should ever be the one getting aggro. She can call for an aggressive play, but even if an aggressive play is made, she still has to be the one almost like baiting in a sense. It's not even that she's important. Like if she's jump spotting this every round, you can have your, and like, you can have your player walk down and then peek this, safe from like where the Viper can see. And like, she's still the one baiting because she's showing that like conditioning, like I'm playing mid, I'm solo mid, try to come and test me. Like you might know Viper solo mid, but they have quick rotates and how are you going to push her off this orb, you know? Now for attack side, there's two different things you can do. Either you do this Viper wall like this, and I really like this wall. Now, a lot of people just throw this wall from the barriers like right here and they'll throw this wall like this. I
you throw it deeper back so you can get a wider angle.
Well, you just throw it deeper back, and like it's a very, very, very small thing. But the only reason is look at this specific spot.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like a very minor thing, but like look at how much more.
Major. Yeah.
It's like it doesn't change the fundamental part of the wall. It just gives them a little bit less space.
Yeah.
And yeah, I throw this wall, and now if you're going to throw the A wall, you can orb top ramp like this. If you're gonna throw the B wall, the old meta, like, because this used to be like old meta with this wall, is you would orb here. But now that Cypher's back in play, and you can't pick up the orb anymore, because this orb was great when you could pick up the orb too, because you could pick up this orb and then even potentially throw it here or on the post plant, stuff like that. What a lot of people are doing is they're letting their Cypher be their A lurker and their A container with like a cam. You can cam like back wall or like deny them from aggressing A. And with this wall, you can throw cages and stuff like that. And you can throw this wall for your Viper and then keep your orb elsewhere. The orb that most people threw, if they're throwing the A wall, was this orb. Yeah, and it goes like this.
Yeah,
and
so
it just makes it
out either side.
Yeah, it just makes it really like awkward. Like you can't put like a controller solo B.
Yeah, do you want to start going through the map and showing some
my bad. My bad. I was just gonna go. I forgot to go over attack side. I was gonna say, because this wall, I haven't showed the macro orb. This, in my opinion, this is the old Zelsus orb. Now that the orb can't be picked up, I think this is the best orb for attack side. And then attack side,
bit deeper mid, and it denies the B heaven player.
Yep.
Mission.
Attack side, people would default like this is what I would say. And then your Viper's probably going to be the B lurker, and I prefer the B wall. So I like, this is all preference. You can throw the A wall. I like the B pressure, especially if the other team has an Omen, because again, if people are one-way smoking this wall counters the Omen aggression.
Yeah, you can just walk right through when the wall is up.
I'll show this orb as well. What this orb does is it blocks off them fighting ropes. It blocks off them seeing male cross to ropes.
Play like 2 mid, yeah.
Yeah, and like if they want to see, like, you can just walk through to here, and he has to be out in the middle of open mid. So you can contact a lot with this.
That's
and like,
actually cool. Yeah, you can just wedge into that corner and they're never gonna see you while the orb is up.
Yeah, so this orb creates so much pressure and blocks off every angle, and it gets the most value for one single orb. Now this orb gets a ton of value when you could pick it up and throw it again. You know what I mean? Like you could throw this orb, get close, pick it up, throw it again.
Yeah, the mid orb, even in like post plant, it can be useful.
Yeah, this orb just like, it gets so much value and denial of info, so I'll show that as well. And then yeah, these three, you're essentially doing a 1-3-1 with this comp, and you can either target smoke, so you can dog up mid, target smoke off of where dog sees. So if dog gets to here and they break it from male, then your Omen smokes male.
Yeah,
you smoke based off of where this guy gets info. That's what, when I say target stuff, it'll go the same with breach. Target stun is like your Sova drones. When Sova sees someone on the drone, the breach stuns at where they see the drone spotting someone.
Yeah, essentially making that person demand assistance. Like,
yeah, like
that person will need help now. So when they break the dog, they're gonna call somebody mid. Like
yeah, so even if they play 2 mid, for example, let's say they did this, you don't, like, they could play 1 or 2 mid, you'll assume, right?
And after the dog's broken and you smoke, you know it's 2 mid, like for sure.
Yeah, well, regardless, even if they play 1 mid, say they play 1 mid and you dog and you target smoke off dog, you smoke off the only spot where the guy was holding mid, okay?
Yep.
If they have 2 mid, you still smoke off where one of them is. No matter what, the guy will at least be isolated.
Yeah.
But if they only have 1, you're also smoking off the only spot where he's playing. So yeah, you're putting pressure off contact. And I guess I was just explaining the word targeting, like you're targeting where you see the info. It's target stun with breach. You can target Sova ult off Yoru ult. So if your Yoru's ulting, like when you say the word target, it's like you're aiming out where the Yoru's seeing them in his ult with your Sova ult. I was just explaining the word like targeting. If
Zendikar in chat also wants to remind people, and this also came true in your match against the Immortal Threes. While all of this macro is great, sometimes yeah, you do just want to test their A hold. Like.
True.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I think I did call.
No, you called test their A-hold, you smashed them, and then you guys rushed A for like 7 more rounds and just won. Because they couldn't stop your rush. And yeah, ultimately, this is like, this smarter, slower play is only like the type of play you want to do when you're equally matched.
Yes, I will say, MCE, he used to be the coach of C9, now he's the coach of Maryville. I have a lot of respect for him. He was the one who told me, he was like, when you're playing against worse teams, you have to disrespect them. If you try to play proper and you try to play disciplined, you will probably, like, not necessarily lose, but you will play worse, and you will, like, they will just do random shit that will counter you. You disrespect them. If you, like, you as individual players are better than them. If you disrespect them, you'll be winning the gunfights, you'll be winning. Like you'll play better as a team. But if you like, you're not gonna be able to play slow methodically against like a team worse than you. So yeah, sometimes just test their A-hole, bro. When in doubt, rush A. When in doubt, or just walk up B main in the pop B. Like this is like I guess like a lot of team play stuff I've gone over, because again, I doubt you'll have a lot of this in ranked. But when in doubt in ranked, long story short, when in doubt in ranked, it's still a lot of fundamental things play true. You can leave one person B main. Sometimes you don't even need a guy B main. You still hard work mid, and you can leave like one person A. Yep. Boom, that's it. That's literally ranked. You can do some of the similar stuff, try to incorporate some of the similar stuff. Long story short, work mid and ranked, leave a lurker A, maybe a lurker B. And then you can sometimes just go A or sometimes go B. Okay, so for Skye, what I like to do is I like to be the A anchor. I'll almost always start right here. And I play to pre-fire this cam if they're playing against a Cypher. I will pre-fire right here, and then I can jiggle here off rip. And if they're dogging, whenever a dog's coming out, you can almost always break the dog prior to them seeing you. They'll let dog take first. I'll play here, I'll break dog, and then I'll get out. And then I'll fall to wherever I want to fall back to, and this is where the micro changes. I can fall to here. I can throw flash like this. I can flash elbow to make it look like I'm peeking elbow. I'll sometimes come to screens and I'll do the same thing. You can just flash over the screens.
Yeah, and the name of the game here is you want to play off of like a one teammate where you alternate who gets fights, right?
Yeah, and you can also play just like obscure off angles. Like this off angle is great right here.
Now I'm gonna do it like I'm rushing. Yeah, that's pretty brilliant.
So it's like you're essentially, yeah, you're holding an angle while people are clearing the back right of sight. You can respawn.
Exactly, that's exactly where I was aiming.
So I love this angle to get one. I also think this angle is pretty good.
I want to feel out this angle.
Yeah, go for it. So if I'm coming out, I'm rushing sight.
I see. You've got invulnerability on ass, so you're making me look like I'm the worst fucking shooter on the server.
I was confused. I was like, damn. Yeah. So yeah, you'll be able to like you'll at least usually be able to kill the first one.
That's already tech.
Yeah, and then like after you kill one, that's where you can like throw a flash above.
Yeah.
And like you can throw a flash above, and this, while it is spammable, it's for some reason hard to spam people behind this shit.
Yeah, it's really wide.
Yeah, it's wide. So then you can flash and just delay, and then now they're all looking sight. Now maybe your heaven guy's coming out, or maybe a guy flooded screens. Like you'll be getting help, and you're just trying to play to live as long as you can.
Yeah.
So yeah, Skye's just a great A anchor. And then if like they're putting Viper Wall up and stuff, general protocol, you always want to have one flash to use as a flash and use as like when they're hitting the site or to hold. You can have both and have both to hold, but you have flexibility with your second flash of Skye. So you always want to be able to hold and pocket one, whether for retaking, whether for
you mean flexibility with holding like your first flash.
Yeah, but for the first one, you have flexibility for info, for if you want to go for an early fight. I will just say like make sure to hold on to your second one and don't always burn them before you do this. But this flash right here, I think is really good. This is what I was talking about. You just throw your flash right here, you just pop it. It will let you know if they are lurking anywhere. Like you can't, oh, he died. You can't hide from this.
Yeah, so it's people playing over here. I mean, you can't hide from it, but...
Well, the only spot... Wait, what?
I'm back here.
Oh, yeah, the only spot I said you could hide from it was behind this box.
Yep, and then like ropes tuck.
Yeah, or like in sewers. Yeah. But again, like this is just like an info thing. Like if I'm doing this and you're playing back here...
Yeah, now you can take the space mostly.
Well, now, like I'll sometimes do that. I'll sometimes get here and I'll jiggle this. And all like you're not on the left side yet, you still have to cross right.
Correct.
And I'm here.
You know that I'm over on this side over here.
Yes, and now if you come to peek me, I see you and I just get out.
That's it. I see. You're just playing info. That's it.
Yeah, that's literally it.
Oh, it's like if you see anybody that's not Cypher,
because
like
I can jiggle and I don't have to worry about the walk up from either side. Because again, if a guy was like close and I'm jiggling that line and I walk up like this and I peek him, he's dead.
Yeah, but but the flash protects you.
The flash protects you from all the deep angles.
Yep.
Or forces them to be on deep angles.
Yeah.
And then
if the flash ensures that the enemies have to be back here, and like everything else is clear, safe. And the biggest threat when you're jiggling this close is that somebody had snuck up close on you, and this is not a threat because of the flash. Makes sense.
And yeah, and then you can also use dog for info as well. You essentially have dog and a flash for info and for space denial. And then I usually like to pocket my second flash. And then yeah, you're essentially denying them from close. And then if they actually get top ramp control, you still have your Cypher for the cam, for top ramp info, stuff like that, and for A main walkout. Yep. So you can give up some space, but you're trying to like make them also worried about like possibly an aggro line, stuff like that. How do you determine when to dog? I usually only do it if they're trying to threaten cross to ramp, such as like Cypher cages are popped, because they only have 2 Cypher cages. So if he pops a cage, A main and top ramp to be able to cross, then I'll dog. Because now, 1 dog just costed him his entire lurk pressure. If they are putting Viper Wall there, then I'll do it when Viper Wall's been up for like more than a couple of seconds, because people will try to bait out dog with Viper Wall. Like they'll tap it and then drop it, tap it, drop it. They'll tap it, leave it up for a couple seconds. Now, if I think he might be trying to walk up with it, it's just an intuitive thing. I think he's trying to walk up, I'll dog. But I wouldn't dog right when you see wall go up, because again, you want them to think they have some comfortability. Because if it's Cypher solo walking up and you dog and you have a top ramp player, you dog, you see him, you can cuss him, and you know he's solo, then you can fight him. So I'll just go side by side, like a left to right for defensive side, and I'll go over some attack side for these. Yep. So the A heaven cam is, I don't know exactly the height. It's something like, yeah, this is actually the perfect one.
It doesn't really matter. It's very easy.
So go to top ramp.
Yeah. So let me know when you see me, and I'll stand still and swap tab.
I see you.
Yeah. So I don't see anything yet. And over here, look how much Cavern sees of me. Like the cam is, look, I don't see it yet. I'm crashed, by the way. There it is. Like, it's so unseeable. Like,
So yeah, and you can also see the A main walkout. You can't see them if they go towards hell. Like you can only see like the left side. Like they're most likely not going to like tuck from this cam accidentally, but just know that it's a possibility. But usually again, you have like a trip on site. But yeah, this is like for all of top ramp info, and this allows Skye to be the A site anchor and not really have to worry about her heaven, at least like until like you know they're up heaven.
Yeah.
And this can also allow you to trap off this. Some teams will Omen blind, Raze nade. They'll throw the Cypher cam and Cypher will play B, and then they'll just wait until like they see him, because you can't break this cam until you're overcommitted. So
yeah,
it's really hard to deal with.
Pushed up even further, and then what, you just have an Omen right here.
Yeah, you wait till they're like right here trying to break cam, and then Omen flashes there, and then Raze just like can play like here, and then bounce a nade like off.
Oh yeah, and it makes sense that Raze would want to peek because you're further back. The Omen peeks close, they might actually get seen even.
Omen blinds the close guy, and then Raze like nades, and then yeah, you can just like trap them. That's literally a set play Sentinels have done. Yeah, someone in the chat just said send traps off that cam a lot. That's where I saw that trap from, was Sentinels. But yeah, and then trips, a lot of these trips, obviously you can throw the main one. I think a lot of these trips, like just like this, are all really good. Yeah, but
you've got a Raze nade lineup for all of these, right?
Yep, I will get to that. But like, regardless, is like these trips are all good. If like this trip right here, Raze won't hit. So some deeper trips won't hit, but it'll hit like all of like these stuff. We'll see if it hits this. I don't know if it'll hit one this deep. Or I doubt it would hit one this deep. So we'll see, because again, Raze nade isn't infinite, but we can test you. I'll let you throw all these trips later. So yeah, I'll throw trips like that, and then if Cypher's playing B, because you're trying to counter their lurk, like say they're putting hard lurk pressure towards B,
with the Viper Wall,
I will just throw cam like this, and you can see B heaven walk up. You can also see like once they're out B main. Oh, I accidentally no clipped cam. I need to restart the round.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, if you accidentally hit no clip with cam, you can't pick it back up.
That's crazy. And the camera no clips.
I don't have the lineup for this. I'm sorry, guys. You don't need a lineup for this, by the way.
First try.
So yeah, you can cam here and you can play backside. And then when they're coming out,
cage triggered.
Just that. But like,
they
have
see
to
you
be
if they're
so
like really
far
far back, B-main?
I believe so, but you're still at like a pretty big advantage. Like it's still so hard to deal with you. And again,
that's about it.
Yeah, but again, like they have to be here, like holding for this while his teammates walking out trying to bait for it. It's like hard to deal with because anybody close can't see you. So yeah, that's something you can do. I think that cam's good. You can throw this cam. I think this is the most common one people throw. That one can be good. It's just pretty simple. And then there's this cam is really hard to break. And a lot of people, like, if you just stay on cam, they'll never know when you have info because no one is coming up mail looking at this. So this is like a great trap play cam.
Yeah, you just sit in this. You don't tag anybody with it.
Yeah, you literally just sit here and you just sit on cam, sit on cam, sit on cam. And then when they're overextended, then you like trap them. Either like Omen blind Raze nade or stuff like that. And then the last trap cam is it's something like this. A little bit lower.
One way.
Yep.
Let me walk mid.
It's a little bit more right.
All right, let me know. You see
Yeah,
me.
walk up mid. I see you.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't see shit.
Yep, I see your toes. So I can see when you're walking up and you can trap off this.
Yep.
You could aim it a little bit lower, I believe. So like you can get a little bit more info. Like, can you still see it?
If
I can see you.
Crouch in this corner, I can spot the cam. I don't think I'm ever registering that as a cam. I'm not gonna lie though. Like in a proper
Gotcha.
game.
Yeah, you have to
Only
you also,
technically can I see it.
a lot of these trap cams, you also don't want to be in a spot where I'm playing ropes, I'm tapping cam over and over, because now they know where cam is.
Yeah, you'd want to be sitting in the cam.
These trap cams, as a Cypher player, you're just gonna be on TikTok, veg, the whole round. Yep. You're gonna be me all around long because you do not want to be leaving
Put
your
your
cam.
Cypher player on Cypher. Put him in cam.
You don't want to leave cam because as soon as they hear cam, has anyone ever noticed the noise they added when Cypher cam's looking at you? I haven't.
What?
They added a noise. It was in the patch notes saying you will hear a noise
Wait.
if a Cypher cam's staring at you.
Oh my god, yeah, I just heard it. Oh, I hear it.
Do you hear it?
I do.
Oh, I've never noticed it in a game.
It's very obvious. Very obvious. Can you make it not look at me? Like aim it to the left? Make it so you can still see me. No, I don't hear it. And now I do hear it. Wow, yeah. The moment I'm on your Cypher cam, I hear it, bro.
This trip off barrier drop is extremely good.
Okay.
So hard to break. Extremely good off barrier drop. You can also cam to here off barrier drop. And they have to like go far up to break it. Those are just two things, but this trip is like really good off barrier drop too. And yeah, that's it for Cypher on defense. Cypher on attack. I don't know these, but yada yada. There's just like, wow, I'm actually too amazing. Yeah, but you just throw a cage for there and you can cage here. You could double cage A main. If you have Viper wall towards A, you can double cage top ramp if you want. And then you have the Viper wall for close. The cams you can do are, there's this cam, which if they're breaking this cam, like I said, I played a setup to do. Hello?
I think you have to jump off the box to throw it. Am I wrong?
What? I don't think you have to. Oh, I'm just aiming too far forward. But yeah, this cam, if they're breaking this every round, stop throwing it. Like once you get to higher elo, people will pre-fire that every round, even if like you're not throwing it. And that's what I do. This cam is also pretty good. Wait, I think you can throw it higher. You can throw it on top of this. Boom. So yeah, you can throw this and it can also spot ramp walk down. This can be good, makes them be overextended. A lot of people actually like just start throwing this because again, you have to peek wide. So if like this threat, if they want to try to peek to break this cam, oh, I didn't mean to throw it like that. Like it's just like simple, you know what I mean? You throw a cam like this, they have to peek wide to break this. And now what you do is like, you can like throw this, make them respect your like Cypher cam. If they try to peek to break it and they start breaking it, you can like have an opper come over to A and your Cypher throws this cam and just baits, they overextend to peek it and then your opper kills them.
Yep. So
it can deny lurk pressure and still stuff like that. And yeah, that's mostly it for Cypher on attack. Or Viper. I'm gonna go down the lines if I'm on defense from left to right. So Viper, the orb for mid is right here on this, and then you just aim at this tile. The bot, like this tile right here, just aim at the bottom of the tile. That's it.
Easy.
It just lands extra fast and it gives you the ability to go left or right. If you want the male orb, this is a barrier drop one. But now that you can't pick it up, you should only throw it at barrier. Boom. And then yeah, you can just play around this one way, and it's really hard to counter. And then when they're coming up, if they go through the one way, like they flash through, you can just molly off like in front. This is the wall that like you can give the pocket. I don't think it's a lineup. You can throw it from either here or from what is it, ropes. But yeah, if you're
Toxins going up.
like, yeah, you can still play inside of it, but it gives this lineup, but it also cuts off more of like actually top ramp. Whereas if you like, you can do the same thing here. You usually come here and you take like a step to the side too. You don't want to do it from the corner because then it like top ramp will be a little bit gapped. If you throw it like this, like the top ramp line, you just take like one step and it actually blocks off more of top ramp, and it will still give you this corner to play in. And yeah, for other than that, Viper's pretty simple. You can jump spot ropes. You can play like male side. You kind of are just the mid anchor. You can molly with your orb, and you're just like the mid player. And I usually throw that AWOL and then the mid orb almost every round. The nade, let's see if I remember this. Oh my god, I think it's this. I think it was this plus sign right here.
You want me to go throw in Cypher trips?
Wait.
All right, go ahead.
We're good?
Grenade!
It was this?
Definitely not.
What about this?
Maybe? It wouldn't break the close one, the main.
That's the one Governor showed me yesterday.
Do you not want to break the close main one? I feel like the nade should break it.
I mean, no matter what, you're still nading for whatever. Like, it's like this lineup is going to be better than here. Was the first one I showed you, did that break all the sight ones? Because a lot of like what people do is a lot of time they'll dog with the trip, or they'll dog with the rush. So you throw this on a rush and then you dog close for the close trip, which will hit.
1, 2! There's 2 there! All right, that's gonna keep me up at night. That's gonna keep me up at night. Somebody figure that shit out. Somebody figure that shit out.
Someone figured that shit out. But yeah, so that's the Raze nade lineup. And let me go to Raze here. This was the other one in the video.
I need to blow. I have the spike.
You come to under here and then
Grenade!
Yeah, fire.
That's the one for B, it looks like. You just come to the left side of this skinny panel.
Yeah.
Oh. And then just right of this corner and then just run jump throw. First hit.
Easy.
Boom. Yeah.
All right, any other major tech?
For Raze, that's about it. We'll go Omen. So to start on attack side, a really good thing you can do if they could be pushed up and you want to execute A, you can TP across and then throw your smokes. And then what you do is from here, then you like can flash all of like sign. So you're essentially like flashing like all of like back here.
Ping sight. Like I'd be concerned that you might be aiming too high. Yep.
Oh yeah. But and then you can flash like all of backside. But yeah, flashing backside from here is like really good. And that's like usually like one thing you really like on exec. Oh, a Viper Molly. Forgot to go over Viper Mollies for attack. Long story short is there's a Viper Molly. I don't have the lineup that lands here. I do have the lineup that lands here, but I liked this one when there was 2 mollies because it would molly elbow run out and it would molly this peak. I think it's good, but I think like if you're gonna execute, you probably just want it for sign because you only have 1 molly now.
And if you're Omen flashing sign though, wouldn't you want it to land in that back corner?
Which one here?
Yeah, because you're Omen flashing everyone's sign.
Because your Raze is just hard clearing that. Like that's like your Raze satchel's out with Skye flashes, and like that's like the one angle Raze has to clear.
I guess it makes sense with the flash, like and everything. Raze has huge edge.
Yeah, like if someone's here and they're getting hard cleared, and this is the first angle being, and this is the only angle that has to be cleared, this person's at a disadvantage. Yeah.
No cover in the open.
They're great if they don't get cleared, bad if they get cleared. Yeah, Omen flash here is really good. You can Omen flash top ramp, which is like good if your team's looking to take top ramp control. Come here and like you just jump blind that so it actually travels the right way. You can blind heaven too, like this.
Yeah, if you jump on the door straight.
Stealing sight.
Those are all good. Other than that, the only like I guess like Omen tech I'd say for this map is you can one way. I believe you can one way here if you want. Hello.
Shadows traveling.
You can one way in there, and then you just essentially like are holding like the run out. Like if this is one way, be aware they can very clearly see you if you're fighting like this, but they're not going to be able to fight like here. You know what I mean? Like they're going to be running through the one way when they're coming out.
Not a side one way.
I believe you can also one way screens.
Should be able to. Do you remember in episode 1 or episode 2 when you could play
this one's
up
good.
there?
Can Omen one way spawn. Omen one ways are great in post plant. And yeah, that's for the most part it. Let's see if I can hit the beam in one way, because this is what I was talking about earlier multiple times.
Oh, you can set this up pre-round.
Yeah, you can set up pre-round. There's also this one way. But again, oh, I missed it, but oh well.
It exists.
But yeah, the one way is supposed to land on this.
Shadows traveling.
Boom. The one way lands right there. And with this, you can then jump spot to know they're not crossed, and you can hold the one way.
Yeah, and Omen likes to do this a lot. Like, when you're playing Omen with Viper, you like to contest mains, or playing Astra with Viper, you like to control mid. And so if you're playing Omen, like, keep in mind, you should really be taking control of this area and making them expend utility to take it back.
Yeah.
I gotta adjust my map settings over here.
Hawk out! Blinded. I'm out of stuff.
Ooh. The Granny's kind of stuck. JG gets first blood.
Spike planted.
Ooh.
Yeah, I saw the screen her open.
Cover going out.
That's what I'm hearing double sound for.
Oh, were you on a screen share?
I had your screen share open, so.
Last player standing.
Oh, that's a really good post-play hold from
Toxin
D-Man.
screen down.
The spike is diffused.
1-0, 1-0. Team Poland get the post plan. It was looking good for Team JG on the side hit, too. How you feel about this mid cam?
It's viable. I personally like to wait until they're already overextended, but it's not terrible.
Oh, Bnan has the orb.
Yeah, he does have the mill one.
Yeah.
Poison orb.
Wow, Salty got over the trip!
Alright, Matt, I just DM'd
Spike
you.
down mid.
Wait, with the bomb?
Let's get food or something. So I'm down. But I just DM'd you like the info that I heard about like what's going on. Oh, this is a walk up. Actually, a good double A fight.
Last player standing.
Okay, they're not afraid to take the fight to them.
And Salty just brought the bomb up screen. Alright, what do you want me to remind you of? I'm gonna
Touch this, I got you. It was after this. It was just what your goal is on attack side when defaulting. That was something I forgot to touch on. It's like
and the Viper attack.
and the Viper orb. It's like a 1 minute thing. But it's like what you're looking to take on attack side.
Got you.
So you have a goal.
I mean, the smoke mail take ropes reset. That's what I always tell people.
It's more so what space you're looking to take and like linking space. So it's like if you take ropes, you're looking to link ropes and top ramp.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. It's like depending on what you do, what your like end goal is.
Oh, look at Bnan.
Toxins
He
going
took a
up.
read down mid, but wait, I think he knows they're going B. He's going to help the Viper, I think. Yeah, they're already rotating. Oh wow.
Getting dubs, demonstrating why he may not be underrated.
Spike planted.
I'm sorry.
Bomb buddy out.
Oh wow, he's gonna stick it. Wow, in a 5v3.
Right?
You never need to go for something
Last
like that.
player standing.
Well, Sleep Token somehow finds itself in a 1v2.
Cover going out.
It shouldn't be winnable.
This was a
But
5v3
it's
post
like-
plant, B site, God plant.
There's like a world.
One enemy remaining.
Oh,
Alright, good conversion, good conversion. Little messy with that Omen ult. Team JG's
a
coming
little
alive.
scary. This is, I mean, that Viper orb off of util. They don't, like, Bean was giving them a 50-50 1v1, maybe even a disadvantage one if they just walked up as a team.
Got spotted. That's a huge spam.
Wow, right there.
Seriously.
So, but like what I was saying there is like, Bean is taking the fight in male
Spike
and
planted.
giving the attackers an opportunity because he has to. He has to spot for info some way.
One enemy remaining.
So you kind of have to fight, but like if you're the attacker, you like that's the advantage for you. You want to walk up, you want to try to take a 2v1 maybe against that Viper. And you want to take that fight before she puts the util up.
Yeah,
but if you just if you just start throwing util and he just puts the orb up every single time when they're coming up, like you're just not gonna be able to take mid. That's the importance of contacting.
Ooh, Bina has the judge. Oh, and there's the noise.
That flash comes in, you should put orb up. Yep. And that's what I'm talking about. If they just walk up, they had a chance.
Exactly where you are.
Oh, the Cypher diff though. Gets the Cypher ult off. Sees everyone's rotated A side.
That's a good cage. Take the space while you can.
Yo, look at Loner.
Whoa, that's some tech right there. What a trip.
Sticking the bomb is crazy. Somehow gets it off. Oh no, this judge could go so infinite. Yeah, there he goes. If this lurk is too little, too late. They already know he's got to be mid on this timing.
Yeah.
I think Loner missed an opportunity. Too slow.
Strike at their weak points. If one link breaks, the rest will follow.
Yeah, people just like pretend to hate Prius. They just give him like shit because he missed the simple 1v2. That's like the meme about Prius. Do you know about the CS lore?
No, I didn't play any CS.
So Prius is like the main observer for Valorant. He's like one of like him and Sapphire, I believe, are the two like main observers for all like the international events. Like they're like considered like the best observers. Like
oh yeah, I've heard of this.
Yeah.
This meme, yeah.
So in CS, on Cash, Simple was in a 1v2, and like the general rule for observing is you always spectate the person in the 1vx.
Yeah.
So if it's a 1v2 or 1v4, you always spectate the one in case they win.
Of course.
And Simple was in a 1v2 with an op, and it essentially would be like he split A heaven, he kills one, he jumps out of heaven, and then as he's landing on the ground, the guy peeks and he no scopes him to screen or like the sign, and like just a cross map no scope to win the clutch at like a major, and Prius wasn't spectating him.
Oh!
Wow,
wait!
That was insane shots.
Cage trick, I have
now.
retrieved the spike.
Bro needs to compose
Trip for
himself.
flank too.
Yeah, the trip's perfect.
You shouldn't break this. Yep, you contain the trip, and now you just contain.
Yeah, but look, he's got space.
It's fine. He just watches rope walk up. Oh, there's two aggro.
No!
Oh. The mistake there is you don't need to peek top ramp. All you need to do is watch the cross into ropes.
Yeah.
So Bean has the like the A main side. All that Dubs had to do there was watch the cross into rope.
Oh, I thought someone was gonna walk down mid on Bean. That would have been.
Oh.
30 seconds left.
I actually think that was the play.
Could have walked down mid.
Post fight with the bomb down's also really good.
Planted the spike.
Yeah, I mean, like both of these like are fun. Like it would have been an insane read if he walked down mid, and it's like he would have won. But I think the smarter play is probably plant the bomb here, because if you walk down mid,
Heaven's so solid because now Zon can just confidently walk up.
Yeah, he literally just sits here.
It's all gonna be a mind game here though. And taps.
No one ever sticks here on first stop.
I should have known that.
No one, like when Bob's planted for everything, and he gets to sight that fast, he'll never stick first out.
Well, I've also got a pretty famous video where I talk about the 1v1 clutch, and in that type of scenario, you generally always just gamble the
Last
first
round.
shot. Although I
the
guess
switch.
BNAM was 3 HP. That does factor into it. Like when you're 3 HP and you're exposed to 2 angles of the post plant, sometimes you will just stick, no?
The biggest thing is like, it's just all like a soul read.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in the like a clutch there and it's a 1v1 and Bob's planted for everything, if you try sticking wherever he peeks from, there's like, if he peeks the angle you're looking at, you have like a maybe like a 1 in 2, 1 in 3 chance there of like holding the right angle or like being able to get off the bomb and shoot him. But what Bean did is he tapped bomb, got off, and played safe from heaven and held spawn.
Yeah. It was good.
Now, if the guy tries to jiggle from spawn, he has a chance to kill him, and if he peeks from heaven, he's not dead.
Look at this mid. He has everything.
Would I tap there or would I not tap and walk up CT? Either or is a play.
Cage triggered.
Ooh, look at Bean!
I know exactly where.
Oh, that is crazy. Wait, look at that.
Shadows traveling.
They're in attack spawn. They're not ready for this yet.
It's a good flash.
He gets out.
Yeah, they're gonna play retake again. Ooh, good silent drop from beam. Oh, Jay saw the barrel for sure there. Yup.
One down.
One enemy
Oh,
remaining.
Raze taking him
Last
out!
player standing.
Oh, does he know that that flash popped after the TP?
Has to be outside. Wow.
Oh! I think Stoat needed to take a jump up so you have more space to walk left and right.
I will say, defense side of map.
Still, 10-2 is pretty oppressive.
10-2's tough. 10-2's tough. But, and
Those
the
two
emote. The
clutches
emote
hurt.
is BM. Have a good one, Yasser.
All right, let's see how Team Poland brings it to attack. I feel like if they've got the momentum, they win pistol. Look at all those diffuse wins, by the way. 7. That
That's
hurts.
tough.
That actually hurts.
Some of those are pretty winnable too, by the way. Like they're getting
For
onto the
sure.
site.
Yeah.
Here.
Like if we consider the post plants to be roughly like 50-50, very unlucky for Team J. But of course, there's no luck here. It's all skill.
I'd say most of them weren't 50-50. Like a lot of them were like man up post plans.
Yeah.
Or man down post plans, I should say. So the defenders did have the advantage, but there were a couple like I'm thinking about that.
There were rounds where it was
4v1.
the other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they dropped it.
There was the 5v3. I think.
Pistol round, they got the first blood and had a 5-on-4.
Wow, and no one's spotting the A main cross. They left so
Poison's
fast.
off.
This is just a blunder.
When they're contacting
Okay,
up
Raze
mid
actually gonna see
correctly.
them. But
Look at this mid contact. It's exactly what you said they should be doing. Boom!
Bomb buddy out.
And now that it's just super awkward.
that's a great nade too.
Yeah, oh my goodness, that is
Read
so
of a nade.
hard cleared.
And now let's see. Do they play this post mount better? Okay,
I
Poland
mean,
is gonna push
it's
spawn.
2-on-5.
One enemy remaining.
Okay. I don't know where Poland thought they were.
Now the
They will
contact
flank.
mid with 3 dudes,
Yeah.
it was just a difference maker.
They're just able to walk up and then caught Viper completely off guard.
Yeah, Team JG was completely missing that play.
Yes, this should do.
And yeah, you just send Poland up first because he's Radiant. Takes the first fight against Loner, whatever rank they are. I know who I'm betting on. And like that's your odds of winning the round.
There.
I mean, even if Poland loses though, like Loner gets traded and it's still really good. Team JG forcing.
And see, they
not sure
like
about
if
that
you can
switch.
bait out the Viper orb off rip. So they baited out the Viper orb, and now they're gonna walk up and they're gonna dog while the orb is down. This is a crucial part of it. So they go up while the orb was down, and they can't
Yeah,
put
they're
Viper
also
orb up
just
to
winning
isolate fights.
every engagement.
Yeah, they're playing against Nico here, but like you see what I mean though with just the macro wise
Yeah.
is the defenders made the mistake of putting up orb relatively for free.
Match
Omen was
point.
spotting mid cross and they put up orb
Well, that's
early,
because
so,
they
'cause were
got
scared.
nervous of the contact play. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's kind of like the
But you
mind
can't-
game of Split.
yeah.
Split is like a very structurally simple map, but a lot of the little things make the biggest difference on this map.
Yep. They're just realizing Loner's the weak point mid here. And you just... Yeah, I think they're gonna call too many
So
mid
you,
now.
someone asked, do you contact up assuming you don't want to fight male or vent dry, or do you contact death ball? You don't contact death ball as like a 5, but like you do take those contacts, like those fights dry, because if they're not on the line, you can keep walking up. If they are, you take that 50-50 fight. And there's only so many angles the defenders can play, and you have the advantage because you're the one walking into the
Well, that's
fight
rough. We have
and
nobody
catch
on
them
A
off
side.
guard. Yeah, their Skye played top ramp here. Skye does get one mixed up 4v4.
Okay, Poland is just dipping everyone.
Yeah, it's a B-Nan Poland masterclass.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my, he's gonna close it out. That's game.
Rocket.
Poland dropping 30 in a
Attackers
15-round
win.
game.
That's crazy.
Oh my.
I'm so proud.
Double
It was
pie.
mid
We
the
had two
whole game
pies.
long. It
There
was
was two
mid.
pies.
Oh, there were two? On the same team or
The
different
game,
teams?
yeah, on the same team.
No. No.
Not the double pie.
Yeah. And the double pie is on the players that were getting exploited, like the weak points.
With this, your goal when you're taking mid is to link all of this space. Okay?
Yep.
So when you mid default, you're looking to gain this map control. You're looking to link top ramp and ropes.
Exclamation mark split.
And you're looking to crunch this area and link these between the two, so then you can go anywhere between the two.
That's what I've been saying. Look in the stream chat. Wait, I'm gonna just send you an image because this is the image I made about split like a year ago, and you're validating the fuck out of me right now, and it feels good.
So taking ropes is valuable, but I guess like what you really want, like while taking ropes is important.
Yeah, you need a ramp Skye. Or an
I
A
think,
record.
well, you want to link this.
Yeah.
So while ropes is, oh, I drew that too loud. While ropes is important, yes, just getting into ropes doesn't do anything because it's
Of course,
pretty
you're
easy
not dropping
to
5 guys in ropes. Agreed.
Yeah. I guess like you want to show pressure and like get these two linked because that's where the true value comes in. Because now you can like split A lot easier. You can all just go back mid and like they don't really have info and the rotates are significantly slowed. Now the other version, so there's two goals you want to do. Now you can also ramp default on this map. And like take top ramp control and you start like heavier A side. Now with this, your goal is to gain this control. Okay. You're looking to gain all of this space. You're looking to take deep heaven to essentially cut off and make like a dividing wall right here. And say anyone who's on A, you are stuck on A and you're not getting help. Any rotators, you are not getting across. We are pressuring you. And like after you can take deep heaven, then you can start to smoke here. I think if you're running an Astra to be able to do this, I think a great initial smoke, like after you're coming up top ramp, is right here. I think a lot of people make the mistake of smoking here, and it opens yourself up to this crossfire. It opens yourself up to this crossfire when you're coming through. What you can do is you can smoke right here, and now
Yeah,
all
once
you have
get
to do
the
is
control, you
throw
drop a
this.
deeper smoke.
And then you drop, and then
Yep.
you drop this smoke. And your goal when you're defaulting ramp is to, you're looking to take all of deep heaven. And you don't even need to go into ropes. Then once you take deep heaven, they are so worried about you, it's almost impossible to re-clear you. And their A-side players are just feeling the pressure. And you can just settle right in this area, and you can just wait and see if anyone tries pushing through the smoke to help. Do they make a mistake? Do they push through the smoke to help? Do they come up ropes maybe, thinking like you're just coming out sight? And then after the A-side players have been like worried, they're like worried about every angle, they're worried about maybe the walk up here now, then you can start executing out. It's like the two goals, either take deep heaven on an A-ramp default or link ropes or link top ramp and vent through a mid default.
And I'd say the show match also perfectly like demonstrated the importance of how you attack mid. Like Team JG was making too much noise, they're just getting orbed off, they couldn't do anything. And then Poland's team, like immediately they just contact with 3 dudes, and it's like, what do you do? Like, game over. Do you want to show the Viper orb?
Yeah, I'm already loading into a custom to do that right now. But for the orb, you come here to this corner and you look at, see like how like this is like the first dot like above.
Yep.
Like there's this, and then there's this dot above. 1 diamond, 2 diamonds, and then the white part above the second diamond.
Sure, I'm with you.
Poison orb emitting.
Yeah, and then you can sneak through into that
And
corner.
what this does, like you can potentially like, I guess like they can see you here, but again, like you're probably not walking through like this, but you can threaten like, it threatens a lot of this spot because this guy now has to like sit here, worry about this, but there's also this walk in, so he's gonna like.
It also breaks them up from the B Heaven player. They're both
Yeah, and then
isolated.
like if they're B Heaven, and what you can do is you can always walk up with this and then dog
Pop
through
out,
the orb, and this orb actually allows you to get through the defender side mid orb if you need.
Yeah, and
so
you can also trade orbs, right, with the enemy Viper with this, maybe?
yeah, well that's what I'm saying is if they put their orb up but you put yours, they
do they
can't
do?
just sit and hold theirs with a perfect crossfire.
Yeah.
just in front of it. So this breaks their Viper orb, and then you can dog through the orb to clear one side. Bean was
that
playing
orb
Viper.
is just so sick for like controlling mid.
Yeah. And I think it's, to me, in my opinion, I think it's the best orb and the most versatile one that gets the most value across the board after they removed your ability to pick it up. Again, there were different orbs that were really good when you could throw it initially, pick it up, throw a different one, pick it up, and it would get a ton of value. But now with not being able to pick it up, I think that's just like the one that applies the most pressure.
Yeah, that orb reminds me of your Haven smoke. A lobby.
Which,
you know, the one that
the one that
both short and main.
blocks off both chokes. Yeah,
it feels
that
just
one.
Like that same pattern.
It's just like you force them to gamble, and you can do things that you don't have to gamble. Like you can obviously take timings if you like are going for like soul read, stuff like that, but you force question marks and threats across the map, and you know where you are and where you're not. You know what they have to worry about and what they don't. Those type of misdirections like absolutely like change maps. That's like a topic for a different day. That is a split guide for you guys. Is there any, do you want to do a Q&A?
Yeah,
anybody got questions? There's any questions?
Related
questions,
to split.
guys?
Related to split. For my eye on you guys. And none of this like, how about Yoru stuff? I know you're typing it. Cover the Viper B-main orb for attackers. One lands just outside the garage. Oh, yes.
I know what the one they're talking
we
about.
Talked about it, but we talked about there's been like a slight shift where now like this wall is more preferred to threaten the B-lurk.
I think you only throw the B-main wall if you have a Cypher, in my opinion. So if you do not have a Cypher, I think the Viper still walls A because you need A lurk pressure. But if you have a Cypher, I think you can wall B or A. You can still wall A with the Cypher as well. It comes to a little bit of preference. Someone actually asked me too about the B-main orb, if it was worth, even though you can't pick it up. And I don't think it is if you have a Viper and a Cypher. Now, if you have like double duelist, Viper, Omen, Skye, for example, I think you wall A, and then you can choose to either throw the mid orb or that B-main orb outside garage. And here I can show that real quick.
Yeah, I'm showing it right now.
Okay. And this is the orb we're talking about.
Yeah.
It lands like this, and it just threatens like walkout.
Yeah,
I don't think this orb is as good anymore. I think you just straight up wall A, or wall B, and you throw orb mid, and then you let your Cypher lurk A. I think this is what you do on this map now. That's my opinion on it. But I think there's like, again, we'll see what a lot of teams do. A lot of teams are still using the Viper wall A more consistently, and like actually haven't seen too many teams throw this orb, but I think this orb is insane.
They're asking for attack Viper walls. And can you share your screen again?
Yeah, I'll share the window this time. The Valor plant. Attack Viper walls?
No, sorry, Astra walls.
Astra walls. I would say you just wall like this at A, and I would say for B, a wall like this is good. So you just get the bomb down right here, and if you wall deeper like this, you open up the ability for them to like play here and like just more ratty spots. Yeah, and like it's a little bit easier for them to like push through, in my opinion. Now you could also throw it like this. I think this actually might be a little bit better. Boom, like that.
Yeah, so they can't.
I would probably like. What's up?
Yeah, so they can't come through at all.
Yeah, I'd prefer this because then like it also threatens your ability to come through like this with the Skye Flash.
Yep.
You can pressure this fight with the Skye Flash. I'd say probably like one of these two is good.
You're not worried about them pushing through Heaven on A? I mean, they're going to push out and expose to what, 7 different angles? It's like, these are all threats for those Heaven players as they come through that Astra wall. Like, who would you rather be? This team or this guy? Like, yeah, they can push through it, but...
I think in post plant, then you can also like look to just like smoke here too. Because they like, you're not going to be able to really fight for backside. If you put this wall up, you get the bomb down, they're all going to be getting to areas like this, you know? You're not going to be able to smoke Heaven and spawn and just take backside easily after you throw this wall.
You're talking about A Heaven. Like when you're coming out A, the guy peeking through the Astra wall.
Oh, yeah, you're just looking to throw like a piece of util. That's where you would just either throw like a Raze nade.
Yeah, and
if they don't have a Cypher or a Viper molly.
They just owned.
Yeah, you just throw like some type of molly to stop them from running through the Viper wall or the Astra wall. And then your Astra can throw one smoke right here and then keep a lot of her stars. And then with this, because Astra has extra stars now, this is where like well, what you do on your execute is you can throw something like this.
Oh, that makes sense. Like, yeah, you haven't cleared sight yet.
Because Astra can work as a pseudo initiator with her suck stun. You still have 2 stars for post plant if you do this. So this is where I would sacrifice a Viper Molly, because the Viper Molly is going to be a little bit more of a deterrent through the Astral Wall. And then you can suck stun the site.
All right, we have an interesting question. How would you put pressure mid as Omen? I think they're inherently asking if you're alone pressuring mid. And I think like the answer is kind of like you don't really want to be pressuring mid alone. I mean, unless you're
could
really
theoretically
passive.
pressure it if you have the orb, but I don't think you can really pressure it solo.
Yeah.
Like I think like you just, if you have this orb, you can obviously like walk close to it and just either fake TP across. You can just try out fake TP across.
I think this person's envisioning like a solo queue match. You probably don't have Viper if you're playing Omen. You're probably solo smokes, and they want to pressure mid. But I'm pretty sure if your team's going like 4A, 4B, you probably just
Omen should be with the pack.
And then you just can late wrap. Like
there's like some people who can lurk, but again, like the Omen flash is just so good, like this. And then the Omen flash, like B main, like if you're here, you can just blind like all of this or like back pillar. I guess like if Omen's deeper, he's usually like a little bit more scaling with the team, but like this flash again could be like just so good.
Yeah, and then there's rounds after that where you can consider re-wrapping mid to like try and catch rotators. But
yeah, re-wrapping's good, but solo working it's usually just not the play on like crucial agents.
You go for lurking mid or A ramp. What indicators a lurker should be looking for? Sure, so you're lurking A. Let's put us A. Let's pretend we're Cypher, and it's a 1-3-1. We're on attack. So you throw your cages. What indicators are you looking for? I think they're thinking about it the wrong way. I don't think the lurker is trying to like get a kill necessarily.
Yeah, the lurker's looking to take the space that they give up for free. So an example would be like if I throw my cam here, okay, and I see guys playing here because she like consistently like this common thing. Maybe she's like flashes if I throw my cage, yada yada, and this cam is not being broken at all, and she has thrown util to deny me lurking. They're probably not worried about my lurk. I would say like you can like look to pressure top ramp, and you don't even need to go up. You can try to get to here. You can get to here. You can also just look to contain and just keep this Skye player A. A round that we saw is like when they contacted up mid on pistol. Do you see what the A lurker did? He just walked up and this guy just ran away screens and just full left. You want to make them respect your ability to lurk throughout the round, and you don't insta pop this cage usually. You do it in like after like a little bit. You want to make them have to stay towards A because of your ability to lurk rather than looking to get the kill. I think a big misconception about lurking is people are like, how do I get past their whole team, get behind them, and get free kills in the back? And I think that is a big misconception about lurkers, and that usually only happens when the other team makes big mistakes.
Yeah, like if you hear the Skye rotate off A really loud, then you can look to punish.
Yeah, a lot of the times what your lurker is actually looking to do is looking to delay the rotates, stall the rotates, or even potentially stop them from rotating.
And keep your options open. Like the lurker's controlling the deeper A ramp. So if your mid team gets ropes control, and now you have that lurker A main, you can do an A split. As opposed to if you have no lurker A main, then they have all of ramps, all of A main for all you know. And coming through ropes into A heaven becomes way more impossible.
Is tough.
As opposed to if you have that lurker. So lurkers,
you can also spread them thin with this as well. So if they have to keep someone here because of this wall, and this guy has to stay on A site, and then they also have to use like Cypher util or keep someone A heaven to watch this because you're threatening cross. Now they have to have at least 3 people on the extremities, allowing you to take a 3v2 in mid. However, if you don't like put the pressure, like you don't need to get these kills on A, you just need to try to keep your one body needs to try to keep 2 people at A. That's your goal.
I want to say like the thing the lurkers mess up the most I see in like solo queue and especially lower ranks is when the enemy team does make that mistake where you're supposed to be keeping them on their sites, but they rotate anyways, even though you've threatened the lurk and you hear them rotate. You need to tell your team to come or something. Like you need to take command. Even if you're in the underpeel and you're silver and your teammates are all immortal, you have to tell them. You have to tell them, don't go A, come back B, I have B. That's the lurker's job. Nobody else can make that call because they didn't hear those footsteps. You're the only one who heard those footsteps. So the lurker has to be aware of that macro, and to punish people walking away, you don't necessarily want to late wrap and shoot them all in the back. A lot of the time, you just be like, I got a free sight. Like, come B, come B, come B.
You can either do that, or one thing I think strong is like, say like your team's going A, these guys are rotating here, and you're like a cage A up mid, okay? You can take this fight Even if you're not looking to get the kill, you can see him cross, shoot maybe once or twice, maybe you get like a body shot, you hit him 40. Guess what? I guarantee you this guy's not continuing to rotate A.
Yep, he just stopped him.
I guarantee you this guy is stopping, looking mid, and then his B player who is also rotating is like, fuck, I have to watch market. And now they're both trying to kill you mid. They might try to re-clear you out and you can just live.
Run back to your team, yeah.
And guess what? Now your team's in a 4v3 on A site. They can't retake because now their 2 rotators are slowed and you're just looking to delay rotates. You don't always need to try to get flank kills. I think that's a big misconception with lurks is like,
it's not flank kills.
Your value doesn't need to be just on paper. I used Ascent as an example for split, but it's like the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same pattern. There was a big round where I think it was JG Cypher had all of A's height. And we saw them push out onto B anyways. And the Cypher ended up getting no value. They were in a 1v4 post plan, if we recall, because all of JG's team died. Yeah, and if that Cypher was instead like shouting like, yo, don't hit B, come back A. I've got all of A, it's free.
There's nothing A.
Completely changes the round.
B.
Yeah, completely changes the round. So lurkers think less about shooting them in the back, think more about pressuring and punishing the enemy team when they don't respect that pressure. So you need to understand what respecting your pressure looks like. And when you don't see that respect back, that's when you need to try to punish. And punishing is not just peeking and killing people.